To my channel, and I wanted to show you how to make like dumpling, fried dumpling, or some people call them bake and some people call them festival as well, festival or something like that. But it's like basically dumpling. You're making dumpling and you fry them. So I will show you all the stuff I need. I need flour. So I've got some self-raising flours here to make my dumpling. So not everybody use self-raising, but I'm using self-raising. Sometimes people use plain flour to make it, but I'm using self-raising. I'm gonna be different. I got milk, semi-skim milk, but you could use whole milk as well. And normally I would use sugar, but I'm going to use honey today because I'm trying to stay away from sugar, so I'm going to use honey today. But you can put sugar in it. And you need the oil to fry it in, and you need a bit of salt. So not the disinfectant, no. Just the salt and the oil and the flour and the milk and the honey. It's simple. You can you could give it to kids and stuff like that. So kids love dumpling and they love fried dumpling. If you're at home and you don't feel like cooking or anything, you could always make some just for like morning tea, or you could do it in the evening if they feel peckish, the kids feeling peckish or something. So I will show you how I make my bake, how I make my dumpling. So I'm going to get the flour in and everything now. So give me 1 minute. Guys, I've got the self-raising flour. I'm going to put it in a cup. So I'm in a cup. Got the cup here. You can see the cup. It's here. So I will fold the cup of flour. And I will put 1 cup in here. And then I need another cup of flour. I'll put 2 cups of flour in there. So I'll say about 2 cups of flour, because I don't want to make too much. I want to make enough, because it's just for me and Reese and Robert, really. So about 2 cups of flour. I'll put like some salt in it. I'll put some salt. So I will say about half a teaspoonful of salt. Because some people make it with salt, but without the milk. You could just put salt and water, and some people make it as well. I put butter in mine as well. So I'll put some honey as well in there. I'll put like maybe 2 teaspoonful of honey in there. So that's 1, because I don't want to use sugar. Say about 2 teaspoonful of honey. That'll be enough. Just give it some sweets, flavor or something. Let me put another spoon. So say about 3 teaspoons of honey. And then I'll put a bit of butter in there as well. I'm going to grab some butter. Butter here, and I'm going to put a tablespoonful of butter. A tablespoonful of butter. And I got 1 gloves. I got 1 gloves. I couldn't find any more gloves, so I got 1 gloves and have a little split in it. Because when you're kneeling, it's good to, if you're doing it for people as well, it's good to use, I would say use about, I should have measured the milk in a cup ready to show you. I put about half a cup of milk in there already. So if you just keep like, bring enough milk so you could knead the flour. Bring enough milk in it so you could knead the flour. Okay? And if you put too much milk, you could always put more flour to make it a bit more thicker. So it's entirely up to you. And then what I will do now, I will start kneading it. Because I washed my hand early on. It's all nice and clean. So I only got 1 gloves and it got a little hole in it. But as I said, I didn't have time to go to buy some gloves, so I'll just have to use what I have. So you keep kneading it, you kneel it, keep kneading it. Just keep kneading it like if you will kneel, like how you kneel flour, until it's all come in. If you ever need flour, just keep on kneading it. I put the olive salted butter, but you could use unsalted butter as well if you want. You don't have to use that one. So this is just simple recipe. And then you just, as I say, I would normally use sugar. But this, in the Caribbean, we make these things. If you go to any party and stuff, you will always find fried dumpling or bakes, we call it, bakes. So you will always find them. Even up here in England, if you go to any Caribbean party or anything, or any dinner, they always make the dumpling. They always make the bakes. Some people call it, different country call it other names. Some people call it festival, some people call it bakes, some people call it bake, and some people call it dumpling. So I think that is tight enough, the flour for me. So that should be fine. So if you keep kneading it, and as I say, if it's too soft, you could always add more flour. But I think this is perfect. So that will do. I think this is perfect kneading. And some people will clean off, well, I mean, it's clean. Some people will use the surface to knead out the flour, but I'm fine doing the flour in the bowl. I'll just do it in the bowl. I'm happy just doing it like this. I think I'll use a little tiny bit more flour. Just a little bit more flour. Just to give it a little bit more thing. Yeah, so just remember, if you put too much milk, you could always add more flour, so it's not a problem. And then you keep kneading, knead the dough, keep kneading the dough, give it a proper knead, knead it, knead the dough. Give it a proper knead, yeah? And then you have to take them out, take them off in bits, and then make them into circles. I mean, I would do it with my other hand, but because I don't have another gloves, I don't want to do it. I would do it smoother. But this is good enough. And if you want, you can knead them bigger, but this is my size I'm going to do. This is the size I do. And then I'm going to hot up the oil now. I'm going to get the pan. I'm using a big pan at the moment. I'm using a big pan, this big pan, but you don't have to use a big pan like this. You could use a smaller frying pan, but you have to make sure it's deep because the oil should cover the dumpling. The oil should cover them. So I put about, I would say, just put enough oil. Just put enough oil, 1 minute, oil to cover the dumpling when they go in, so they get proper cook. Like if you're putting them in you could even put them in a deep fat fryer. If you have a deep fat fryer, put them in there and they will come out just as good. But I don't have a deep fat fryer, so I'm just doing them in a normal pan. So I will put the heat up in this pan. I will put it up and then, see, this is all knead now. I knead the dough. This is the dough here. I mean, if you want, you can leave it for a few minutes and just leave it standing for a bit. But I'm fine because I ain't got no, it's self-raising. Oh yeah, if you use plain flour, you must put yeast in it. You'll have to put a little yeast in it if you use plain flour. That's why I use the self-raising one, because I just do mine like this. Some people don't even use yeast, they just do it like that. So it's entirely up to you. So I have to wait now for the oil to fry. Go wait for the oil to heat up. So I'm waiting for the oil to heat up and then I'll put the little dumplings in to fry up. Rolling out all my little dumplings, so I do them like that. Sorry about my broken gloves. And then you roll them like that. If I had 2 gloves, I would roll them better, but I just don't want to touch them. Even though I wash my hands, I don't want to do them like that. So you roll them out like this. But if you had both hands, as I said, if I were using both my hands, I will roll them out more neater. So you roll them out like that, and you put them in there, ready to go in the hot frying pan. So you just keep rolling them out. You could do them smaller or you could do them big. Some people do them like giant, but I prefer mine neat and small. And when the pan is heated up, don't leave it for them to cook really hot. You could unless you have a deep fat fryer, as I said, we will cook them quick. But because you take your time, because you want them to cook right through, so give them about 7 minutes for them to cook through properly, even more for them to cook right through, because you don't want to take them out too quick and then it's still raw in the middle. You want them to cook properly, so you take your time and do them. That will do. Some people make them in like a soft. I'll show you. Some people do them wrong like this as well, like a roll, like longer, like that, and they call them festival. They like that, and they have sugar in them. Some people do them like long, like that, like longer, like a more longer effect like that. Some people do them. They roll them out like something like that. I'll show you. They roll them out like that, and they make them longer like this. That's the festival one where they make with sugar in it. Anyway, I think my pan should be hot enough now, and I'm gonna start putting them in. I can put them in now anyway. I could put them in now because they'll soon heat up. So I'm putting them in now. There I go. I can hear it heating up. There. See, it didn't cover them completely, but there's enough oil in them for cook. So I will say, I don't know how much oil, about half a cup of oil. I will say half a cup of oil, of vegetable oil. It depends on what pan you have it in, because if you have it in a smaller pan, it will be deeper. Because I have it in a large pan, that's why. So just keep doing this and let them cook up now. Let them just cook. And that's it. Voila. So we just bring them to the cook now. So cook them slowly for like 7 minutes, 7 to 8 minutes. This is my dumplings. I had the fire up a little bit too much. The electric up a bit too much. So I lower it down to 2 because it was cooking too fast. As you notice, they're a little bit brown. I didn't ready for them to be that brown yet. But you have to turn them over as well and make sure that they cook on either side, otherwise they won't be cooked. So that was only like 3 minutes and it was already burning. So I'm giving them another just not too long, turn them over. So give them another 4 or 5 minutes and then they'll be done. But you could test them. You open them and see if they cook inside. You can open this one and make sure that the flour is not raw, that you can see that it's cooking. So I will say about 4 minutes on each side, 8 or 7 minutes and they're done. But I had the cooker up a little bit too high. As I said, try it, see how it is. If it's not cooked, leave them to cook for a little bit longer. So this is my dumpling. Everyone do their dumpling in their own style and they do them differently. This is how I'm doing mine. So this is it. The only thing when you use self-raising flour as well, they're a bit softer. Because if you use the plain flour and you put your own yeast and everything in it, it won't cook so soft. But because it's self-raising flour, it's a little bit softer. But it's still going to be nice. And as I said, they're good for the kids and stuff. If the kids feeling peckish in the evening, or if you get up in the morning, you make them for breakfast. We normally do them with fried plantain and stuff like that in the Caribbean. And we do them with saltfish, like, you know, saltfish where you can buy in the, like most of those side shop, like the corner shop and stuff. You know, you could buy the saltfish in them, and you can do the saltfish. You have to thaw the saltfish out, because you have to leave it soaking overnight, throw boiling water on it, cook it a few times before you cook it. But that will be another cooking thing. I will have to show you that another time. But you can do it with saltfish, or you can do it, and fried plantain is good to have with it. Proper Caribbean food, yeah. But only so my dumpling is a little bit, with a little bit of twist, a little bit of difference. But it tastes good. Dumplings. And the reason why they're soft as well when they're cooking, because I use milk. Some people just use water. You don't have to use milk. So they're very soft. And as I said, I use self-raising flour as well. Because some people don't use the self-raising flour. But I like it like this. It's really nice. Well, guys, thank you for watching. And this is it. This is my dumpling. To show you how my dumpling look inside. So I'm just gonna break this now, like that. And this is what it look like inside. It's cooked. It's all cooked. So thank you. Thank you. Bye. One was in the kitchen, and this is all the dumpling where I show you earlier on. This is what left of it. I just want to say something as well. If you use unsalted butter, or if you're using the salted butter, do not use salt. Because I find my dumpling was a little bit too salty. A little bit, just a touch too much.